So I suppose the biggest thing, Brent, which we've touched on a bit today, I think you've been at the club 8 years. I know it's not 10 years, but you've certainly been here for a while. Would you just like to touch on what your observations are and where the club and where football at Edgeworth or the surrounding areas in Newcastle has changed in the last 7 or 8 years?
Thanks, Woz. So yeah, this is my 8th year. When I first come, I was actually playing with Zany. So the first offer coach was we had Gary Wilson, and things have changed immensely over that 8-year period. Like, things now are much more professional. There's now a tight integration with the juniors and the senior football club. All our senior players, for instance, I remember when we won the grand final last year, having just like a waterfall of young kids just jump on the fence and celebrate was fantastic. It was one of the highlights of last year. And we get to see the young kids now come into the change rooms before games, after games, and at half time. It's just good to have them around. I think it's a good experience for them as well, just to get a feel of what senior football is going to be like for them as they grow up and stuff like that. We had, I think it was the 15s, trained with us last week, and the 14s trained with us last week for half a session. It's just fantastic to see just how good the kids are now and how much confidence they have, and they're having a kick with guys that are, I think Mac is probably like 6 or 7 times their age, in his 70s kind of thing. So I mean, it's quite, I imagine it's quite daunting for them at being so young and things like that, but just the professionalism around the club as well now. Like, Damien's been a huge instigator of that. Just with preparation for us players is probably one of the best in the country in terms of MPL standards. So it's been huge changes, and I suppose from a junior point of view here now, that especially with Damien, it's not a loyalty thing so much. I know he brought it up there now, and loyalty does play a factor, but with the juniors, it's very much, if you're good enough, you'll play. If you've got a reputation and you have been loyal, if you're not good enough, you don't play. It's very much a winning mentality, and it's fantastic because it's brought us all closer together, and it's very much a family club. And I know the banter's pretty thick, and it's fantastic to see Damien drinking some water instead of eating a hot dog and coke and kebab. So you can see he's had quite a few of them. So you can see the banter's quite good. It's very much a family-based club. So I'm on the bench now, but nonetheless, it was worth it. So you can see it's very much a family-based club, and we have a lot of good fun here. But we do like to win things, and I wouldn't say like, we certainly do like to win things here. So that's probably the changes.
I suppose that was a pretty serious one. If you just like to touch on, so you brought it up, some of the funny things that you've seen around the club, maybe some of the things that some of the young lads can look forward to in a couple of years' time in the senior club.
There's been a fair few fun things. For instance, might as well bring Zany back up again since he's here. But we've got a young fellow at our club called Lockie Pasquale, and Lockie's he's a special boy. And I remember we were celebrating a late night once at Warren's place, and Lockie decides to rock up with a kebab, not for himself, but for his illustrious coach. Just said, "You look like you need this at 2:30 in the morning," kind of thing. So there's a lot of joking around and stuff, and usually Lockie's involved in some capacity. For instance, when we went to Cairns last year for the FFA Cup, we were all on the bus and we can't find Lockie because Lockie's decided to play Pokemon Go, and he started to wander around the airport looking for Pokemon that he can't find out here or something like that. So there's plenty of funny things. One member of the team waking up at that room with me at 4:30 in the morning, sleep on top of me naked, and I woke up. I said, "What are you doing?" And he just stood up and walked straight out the door, hopped the elevator, still naked, no clothes on. Got down the elevator, went into the foyer, and he got escorted back up by the concierge, asking for his ID, which kind of baffled anyone that could heard it because he had no clothes on. Like, you would have seen if he had an ID, but there's certainly so many funny aspects that happen around the club. But a couple of them a little bit X-rated kind of thing. But for instance, like Lockie again, I remember when we played Perth, about 5 of us, I think, put the later trip down. And so we're going down the car and I'm driving, and Lockie, being like a 10-year-old that he is kind of cool shotgun, so he's next to me. And we're driving down and there's a Winnebago and it's got a RAV4 behind it. And it's going down the freeway and Lockie goes, look at that RAV4 right up the backside of that Winnebago. He goes, he must be pissed off. And we're all like, almost in tears. I got, this kid can't be serious. Anyway, it's in the middle lane, and we all kind of clicked what would happen. The Winnebago would indicate left, just at the same time as the RAV4. So it would look like, oh, it's just going to irritate him even more. So we're sitting along, and Lockie's going, I can't believe that. And I'm like, I think Aaron or someone said, he goes, no, he's in his slipstream rock. He's trying to save fuel, like, for fuel efficiency. Lockie goes, that seems a bit dangerous, doesn't it? Like, so anyway, as it happens, the RAV4, the Winnebago indicates left, so does the RAV4, coincidentally. And all of a sudden, Lockie goes, oh, it's on here, and you won't be happy. And we just kind of just lost it, because I slowed down just to watch this escalate. And I'm going, look, mate, it's towing. He goes, oh, that's once in a lifetime. You won't see that again. And he still didn't believe it until we got alongside the car and he could see the attachment of the two cars together. He's certainly a special one, that one.
So, goals for the season, Brent?
Personal or team-wise? Do you want to take the team ones?
Each year we try to improve on what we did, which is difficult, but for me, first and foremost, Australian champions, which might sound outrageous, but last year I was even plodding towards it, and it's a probably 5-year goal of mine, but we're way ahead of where I thought. So this is why we organise trial games with Sydney teams, because we want to beat them, because that's who we have to beat to become Australian champions. So I watch the youth games, you can be assured, and when they play Sydney opposition, I start from a young age going, who's sticking with those guys? So that's why it's not the probably best trip down to Blacktown, but for me it's invaluable, because it starts to show who is at that level, the attitude of the boys. Are they going to grow up to be first grade members? So yeah, Australian champions, and that also means that you have to have won the comp around here. So another cup run as well. I think we're, what it can do for your club financially is nothing else can compete. So all the kids enjoy when we play a A-League team, so hopefully this year we can beat them.
For me personally, it's pretty much to contribute as much as I can to help the team achieve the team goals. I mean, no one player wins a league, wins the Australian Championship final. It's a collective, and that's one of the other big changes. So if I can contribute as much as I can to that, it's a good year.
As they're talking about youth and everything else, our under-20s, Brent, I might just get you just to touch on just for a minute. We've certainly got so many 16, 17-year-olds. I don't think you're going to see too many 19, 20-year-olds playing under-20s at Edgeworth. Maybe when they're still, because we've got such a strong first grade, but certainly under-20s at Edgeworth doesn't mean you're staying under 18s, still under 18s, and then at 19 you go up. There's probably a fair few people here